What's up, everybody? This is Sheepshifter 23 here with the rest of Dat Wrasslin podcast. We got Streetkilln HD, we got Ben Rivers, and we got our special guest today, Nilsson, in the house. What's up, Nilsson? How you doing?
Doing good. How about you all?
I'm doing good. How about you,
Doing
Q?
good.
Doing pretty good. I was gonna go to bed, but so this Street asked me to come join. I came in and joined.
That's right. You've been inquiring. We got you in here. So, welcome to the podcast. We hope you enjoy your first time here. So
Certainly
we're
not
gonna.
the last.
That's right. Won't be the last, I'm sure. You're a regular visitor to our channel. I think you're a moderator in all our channels. No reason you shouldn't be able to come back. So we're gonna kick
On this
things
count.
off with Monday Night Raw, and started off with the big major announcement. Everybody was waiting to hear because we all knew
disappointment.
that it was time for
Yes.
women's tag team titles. That's what time it was, and we were ready, and that's not what happened. We're getting an all women's pay-per-view called Evolution.
Which is really a bad name.
Well, not really. It fits. What I really wanted, obviously, was the women's tag team, but I'm pretty sure that we'll get that before the whole event starts.
Yeah.
I think they're going to announce it. I think they realize that that's what the people actually wanted from this whole thing, and yeah, and I think that they're going to definitely introduce those, and there will be probably a match to decide the SmackDown and Raw Women's Tag Team Champions at Evolution. If that's the case, then I'm back on board. But if it's just going to be the NXT Raw and SmackDown Women's Championship matches and then the Mae Young finale, whatever, because the SmackDown, I mean, if they tell the stories right, I guess possibly, but most likely I'm not going to be interested in just watching an all. I mean, it's not necessarily that it's all women's, but we're not going to have time we're not going to have time during the regular shows of Raw and SmackDown and NXT to tell the stories necessary to make that pay-per-view good.
Yeah,
We're not going to be able to have the storylines happen over the course of the months leading up to it, because there's also going to be another pay-per-view that month. I guarantee you that's not going to be the main pay-per-view. It's going to be an extra pay-per-view like the Greatest Royal Rumble was.
Which was bad.
Yeah.
The Greatest Royal Rumble was
scared.
fine. There was nothing wrong with the Greatest Royal Rumble, and it made the WWE more money than they make for WrestleMania.
It was better than
WrestleMania. It made more than 10 times as much as they made from WrestleMania. So I can't blame them. That was a smart business decision. I don't have a problem with an all-women's pay-per-view, but my problem lies in that they're not going to build the storylines up for it, and it's not going to be enjoyable. They're just going to be fighting in the ring for no reason. The only storyline that's going to be there is the Sasha and Bayley storyline, because they've been doing that for half a fucking century.
Boring.
I only have one problem with that, and that's for that pay-per-view. What's even the point? You know what I mean? It's like you have only 2 titles that's gonna be defended, and
3.
And the rest is just gonna be, well, yeah, 3. And the rest is just gonna be normal matches that you can have on other pay-per-views.
Just add match type.
Yeah.
Like the Women's Royal Rumble, they just do it a lot of returns. They're gonna do that for this pay-per-view.
They act like women's don't get matches in pay-per-views already. You know
What they're going to do is they're going to have like a Lita versus some current superstar. Lita versus Sasha.
Oh, they're doing that. Mickey James versus.
Like
Yep.
Yeah, they're doing Mickey James versus who's her name again?
Yeah, and I have even actually also heard that Victoria will be there. Victoria.
Well, there will probably be all kinds of surprises and people, divas from back in the day, Kelly or whoever. I don't care, but it doesn't matter because I mean that they were decent in-ring performers, but they're nowhere near the caliber performer that today's female superstars are. Besides maybe Lita and to a degree Trish, but even Lita, as we saw in the Greatest Royal Rumble, doesn't have in the tank what she used to. That moonsault, I thought she was about to die.
I think this show should be based off the new women, because I believe the women from the past are going to kind of overshadow the current women and taking up their spotlight. That should be their moment.
Yeah,
I agree.
same. I agree that.
They are in the past now. It's time to think about the future.
Yeah.
Past, the present,
I
the future.
agree.
Well, nostalgia sells, and I mean I understand that, but it doesn't sell so much, I don't think, with that division. I mean, maybe you bring Lita or Trish over there, and they're like, oh, Lita and Trish are there, but they're not as big of a draw as say Ronda Rousey. So I mean, if you've already got Ronda Rousey, how many extra people are going to come because Lita or Trish are there? You know, the people that are going to watch that are going to watch it.
Just for them.
Whether Lita or Trish or Legends are there or not, they want to watch it for the women's movement. They want to support that, and I get that. There's a lot of people.
But is it?
What?
I have a major gripe with the thing though. Like I have a major gripe with it. I'm not being sexist or anything, but I just don't see the point there. I know they're pushing that whole women's right shit and movement, but like, there's no actual point for it. I mean, they already do all this other shit. They have the Mae Young Classics and whatnot, and they do this first ever women's this, women's that. It's like, what's the point of having just a show based on them? It's like, we have regular pay-per-views, right? And we have women and men in them, right? And then we have the shows with women and men in them. Isn't that enough? I'm like, you don't see the guys having their own show, so what's the point there? I mean,
they had
don't
two
have
more
a show
snouts
just for
screwed up.
guys.
I think, and I hate to even say this, but I bet your opinion would probably be different if you were a woman.
Yeah, definitely. I
don't want to say that, but I mean it's true. And if I look at it honestly and truly, you know, if you put yourself in their shoes, I mean, I can see how they're like, well, you know, the women are literally maybe one or two matches on a card that is 80% male. You know, they might get 15 to 20 minutes out of a 3-hour show. So I can understand the problem and the feeling that they deserve more and all that, especially with the level of athleticism rising and the level of in-ring ability rising like
and
it
a lot
has.
of women.
There are legitimately good female wrestlers now. We didn't have that in the Attitude Era, besides
Because they were treated so
Trish and Lita.
disrespectfully.
Now even the divas, with the exception of Carmella, can wrestle. Alexa Bliss can wrestle. She doesn't get credit for it most of the time, but she's a damn good wrestler. And
she's trying her hardest.
She works really hard. She does. She puts in her time and does her, you know, her exercises and shows up for her trainings and all that shit. She's a workhorse. She might be a diva type character, but even she said in an interview recently that that's because the reason that she wrestles in the style that she does is because of her character. A character that's a heel like Alexa Bliss is wouldn't be doing amazing moves and trying to, you know, blow your mind, because that person becomes a fan favorite and they're not a heel anymore. And they desperately need good heels from the women's division. Charlotte's been there and done that, and they need Charlotte to be kind of a face right now. They need heels in the women's division. Nia Jax isn't good enough to main event, I don't think. She has been for a while, but that's because they haven't had a replacement. They don't have anything. They're using the best option. They build her up as a monster type and run with that. Even though before that, she spent the past year or two being a jobber. But now she's automatically again, you know, a monster. Like Bludgeon Brothers, they were jobbers for forever, and then they get the upgrade. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the first match. It was a tag team rematch between the B team and the Deleters of Worlds.
And
not a bad match, not a great match, but what
Gotta go
happened,
Extreme Rules.
I thought this was going to happen, and I knew that they would retain. A lot of people thought that the only thing WWE could do at this moment was to have the Leaders of Worlds win it back and end the whole B team thing, but I don't agree with that. I
That would have
think
made a joke out of the titles, because they've already been turned into a joke having a 10-year-old win it, then having it be
Yeah.
over a comedy field.
Yeah,
feud.
there's if anything, the B team will help the tag team championship because it'll bring it's a freshness. Like when the Leaders of Worlds were the tag team champions, I was like, okay, that's cool, they deserve it. But I was never really excited because WWE had already blown the Woken thing, and it's over in my mind. I don't care for it anymore. Like the TNA stuff was good, the real broken stuff was good, but this watered down WWE version just ain't cutting the mustard.
It's
And I'm done with that. I'm not happy with Matt Hardy or Bray Wyatt's characters right now. I think they're really stale, and I think they needed to lose.
Bray
the
Wyatt
titles.
needs a repackage, just like Luke and Eric Rowan. It just it ain't.
Well, that's
working
what
for
they
them anymore.
tried. They tried to repackage him, but the
Yeah,
problem was he was supposed to be this new version, but he was
Of Undertaker.
he was just the same. Like when he went to the Woken and got reborn in the Lake of Rebirth or whatever, reincarnation. He didn't.
reincarnation.
He didn't change. He's still the same character that he was. There's no difference at all. So
Yeah.
I'm like, what was the point of the whole? I mean, you can tell before anything even happens the difference between the Woken Jeff and the regular Jeff Hardy. You can tell instantly the difference between Woken Matt and Woken and regular Matt Hardy. I mean, it's night and day. So why wasn't there a night and day difference between regular Bray Wyatt and broken/Woken Bray Wyatt? If they would have done that, I would have been happy with it. But as it stands, I'm done with the Leaders of Worlds. Matt should go team back up with Jeff or do a singles thing, or I don't know. But they ruined the Woken thing. He's going to have to reinvent himself. He's going to have to repackage himself. And so is Bray Wyatt.
Maybe a gimmick that can work like I did in TNA, but start selling different. Make his own name out there.
I think Bray Wyatt should team up and do a brother angle with Bo. They should turn. He should have him turn on Kurt Axel, and he goes and becomes tag team champions with Bo. The Rotunda brothers.
You know, I've seen something. I've seen a picture or something. I forgot what it was. I think it was an article with a picture. I'm pretty sure the picture was Photoshop. But the article mainly talked about how Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy is gonna be not like
Going back to
retiring, but
TNA.
they're gonna be taking a break and leaving WWE. And I can see that happening, especially with Jeff Hardy's situation.
Yeah, especially with
He
Jeff.
has an injury. And with Matt Hardy, I understand his whole thing. They ruined basically his gimmick and everything, and it's just not working out at the point right now. And I can understand why he would want to leave. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy was excited to come back to WWE because I'm pretty sure they love WWE. You know, they spent a lot of time in the WWE or WWF, you want to call it, and they put in a lot of work, and they were an amazing tag team, and they had something going on with a gimmick and a different promotion. It was doing well, and then they accepted to come back in WWE, and then it just gets butchered. And I understand how they would be if they are upset. I understand why they would be upset about it, and why they would like leave or take a break or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hearing that makes me think this Randy Orton thing of Randy Orton taking away Jeff Hardy might be Jeff Hardy's excuse for taking a little break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same.
probably.
No, they're bringing Randy Orton back hardcore. Randy Orton's getting
Oh,
the push that
I
he should
know
have
that.
always had. He's going to
Can I speak
destroy
mine?
everybody's heroes. He's going to destroy AJ Styles. It's starting with Jeff Hardy. He's going to destroy everybody that everybody loves. He's going to go back to being a legend killer.
Yo, if he was
We can
WWE
save that for
champion,
SmackDown. And
Yeah,
get
yeah,
into
yeah.
that.
Yeah, we probably should.
yeah,
We'll save that.
yeah.
But yeah, as for
Wait,
this
can
match, I am. Well, we should stick to just hold that thought for when we get to the Randy Orton part. Unless this is about B
What I'm talking
Team
about.
and the Leaders of the World.
Yeah, is this
Yeah.
about
Oh,
the
if
leaders
it's
of the
about
world and
them, go
whatnot?
ahead. What you
Okay.
got?
Yeah.
Can I say the opinions of what I actually thought the Leaders of Worlds would have been like?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I thought they would not make it comedy. The clapping, the laughing, the just doing the most cheesiest promos of like ever. I thought they would take kind of like a brothers destruction dynamic, kind of be like a scary duo, kind of be like a duo that they don't even talk in the microphone. They don't do the clapping. They don't goof off. They're more of a serious team, more of a like scary, dominant. They don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like, of course they goof. They kind of like act crazy. They're psychos.
Yeah. That's basically what their gimmick was.
Now they're just
in
dumbasses.
TNA. It was semi funny. There was a little bit of funny bits into it. I mean, Matt Hardy is supposed to be the more funnier one of Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy, in just the way because how he talks and whatnot.
Well, it was supposed to be
A
like
lot
a
of people
B
get a
team.
kick
It was
out of
supposed to
it.
be like a B movie feel, like bad
Yeah.
acting. It was supposed to be that way, and
Yeah.
they just
But
WWE
just
failed
written
to
really
execute.
They're
bad.
making too much of a joke. It's not. It's so stupid. It's good. It's stupid. It's kind of hard to watch.
Yeah, see, WWE loves to butcher shit, and they butchered it really good. So I give
I
them
heard they
credit for
let Matt
butchering
get all full
again.
control over it, and they immediately put him in a team with Bray Wyatt, pretty much telling him, "No, you get no control over your guy." I found the match to be.
I kind of actually did like the like just like the whole Woken Matt Hardy gimmick, like what he had, like in his feud with Bray Wyatt. But like this has got to be like, they are destroying Matt Hardy's career doing this. I'm just saying, like, I know, like
You
like
can't
all the
destroy
Matt Hardy
something that's
characters,
already Hall of Fame worthy.
Yeah, I know, but like
They're not destroying anything. They're just not doing him any favors right now.
They're not doing it right. Just one simple
but
little
they're
change, like
destroying
everything's
his
good.
gimmick, sorry.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, but they're just
overthinking
destroying
it. That
his
you
gimmick.
can't destroy a legend based on just a little bit of
I know.
a few
This
problems,
Kane could have got a career ruined for being Isaac Yankum.
right?
Yeah.
You know, if that was the case, we would hate a lot of legends right now because of the stuff they did at the end of their career.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe Matt's time's just up. I mean, he's had a very long, successful, fun career. I believe maybe his time's up. Maybe he can be a manager. Maybe he might be a successful middle manager.
Maybe.
Recognition 360, Matt Hardy is a legend, and yeah, Matt Hardy's definitely a legend.
Yeah, he's
He
a
wasn't
future
the
Hall of Fame.
he wasn't the better
Yeah,
of
Hardy
the,
Boys
Hall
are
of Fame.
definitely the Hall of Famer. They've been around
No,
forever.
I think he's somewhat better than Jeff.
No, he's not better
No,
than
a lot
Jeff.
of
Some
people,
ways.
a lot of
Okay.
people love Jeff Hardy more than Matt Hardy, but they
Yeah,
both
that's
put
so
in
true.
the same amount of work into their wrestling careers.
Now, if you
One
were
of
to
the reasons why
separate
TLC
now
matches
listen,
exist.
if you were to separate
Yeah.
Jeff and Matt, and to say only one could be a Hall of Famer, I would pick Jeff, obviously.
yeah,
but
same. I would pick Jeff too.
The
because-
Hardy Boys
I
as
mean-
a team are definitely legends, and the Hardy Boys can't be the Hardy Boys without Matt Hardy. So yes, Matt Hardy is a legend because more people know
True.
the Hardy Boys than almost any other tag team in existence.
Yeah.
They're one of the reasons why TLC matches exist too.
Exactly. They revolutionized tag team matches, and they kept it relevant. They stayed relevant, or they understood something about the times that nobody else was getting. They've stayed relevant for 20 years.
Let's
almost.
just say they kept the tag team
What did
division
you say?
on lock.
Oh, wait. Can I hang on? Can I ask a question? When is Tables, Ladders, and Chairs? When is TLC?
I think it's in October. I want that paper to go.
Yo,
Stipulation.
because like,
Oh wait, it got canceled. It got canceled. It's gone. Because the greatest, the Australian show in that's in October is canceling it.
Oh.
Yeah, the greatest super show. Like what?
Well, you want to say, well, yeah, well, thank God they have done a show in Australia because, but like, I'm just like a little bit mad that they're doing it in Melbourne. Yo,
I think what
not,
Recognition 360 is trying to say is that he's not a legend right now. I think he might, you know, he's still an active superstar. It's just like, but you know, you call Randy Orton a legend. You know, you call.
No, I don't know. I don't know if Recognition.
Exactly. I see what you mean, Jake.
Pause. I don't think. I don't know. Has he actually watched them wrestle back then?
I mean, Matt does not put on 4-star matches, but
okay.
If you, I know most of us here are old enough to have watched them wrestle back in the day, way back in WWF.
There are a lot of really bad wrestlers who are considered legends.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like
the Godfather. Could have wrestled for shit, but he's in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
What I was gonna go straight to was the brothers, Luke and the Bushwhackers.
Oh yeah, they were just for comedy.
They're legends, but they were jobbers. You know, they were talented, I guess, to a degree, but they were never gonna, you know, put on 5-star matches.
What about celebrities making the Hall of Fame before people that should be in the Hall of Fame?
Well, I don't disagree with that. That is to turn popular attention. It's to get people watching. They have that celebrity there, so people will go and watch.
How they should do it is have people that have been supporting WWE a long time. Flo Rida has sung most of WWE pay-per-view songs. He should be going to the Hall of Fame for his huge support on the wrestling business. That's how they should do celebrity kind of things. Donald Trump was only there for a match. Snoop Dogg, I don't ever really doing anything on there to get a Hall of Fame spot.
Snoop Dogg was to sell tickets. Donald Trump was to do a favor to Donald Trump so he could be on TV and they could keep the friendship between Vince McMahon and Donald Trump going. So
yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, that was just because one of Donald Trump's biggest political supporters is Linda McMahon.
That is true.
Okay.
So
let's move on to the next match here.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that one a little bit. So the next part was Sasha and Bailey. They're kind of a little bit of an angle. They kind of made it clear that it was a friend relationship. It kind of bummed me out. I thought they were going to go there, but apparently WWE doesn't have the balls, pun intended, because it's a lesbian thing, you know, no balls.
They teased it. They kind of teased the crowd by having them look at each other that way, thinking, are they actually going to do it?
I thought they were
still trying to get us thinking. I still think they're because I'm still questionable about this supposed friendship because they're acting so fucking odd to me. I mean, it's either they're acting odd or they're acting so fucking childish. It's like I can't get it. I can't read between the lines yet. Like I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm like, what are they really trying to do here? Are they keeping it as like a friendship thing? I think they still waiting to see what people's reactions are gonna be. They're waiting for people in social media to give their thoughts and opinions, and they'll shoot down the line once they see it. You know what I mean?
All I want to see right now, all I want to see is a Bailey heel turn. I don't care about her face gimmick. No, the face gimmick is dumb. I think Bailey needs a repackage. That's just this is like just my opinion, but you're just gonna be the first one to admit it. This whole thing, what they're doing with the whole Bailey and Sasha Banks, this is what I'm like literally not even watching the women's wrestling anymore because it's boring now. Bailey, Sasha Banks, no.
They should have just done the feud where they break up. It's just now it's kind of dragging on. I mean, I don't know if they're dragging it on until Evolution to finally break them up, or they're
Yeah,
just
I think
trying
they're dragging it
to
on to Evolution.
Look, it would have
I
been
think that's where it's headed.
actually, it would have been
better for
actually
SummerSlam.
interesting if it would have been a lesbian storyline. But if they're just
It would,
friends,
because it'd
then
be different new.
but if they're just friends, then it's just kind of boring. If they go there and they push those boundaries, I'm down for it.
And we already know that they're gonna turn on each other sometime. It's just way too obvious that this tag
And
team's
I'm not
gonna
even
work.
talking about I'm down for it for the look, lesbians. I'm talking about it seriously. It's a grown up issue that should be approached in grown up ways at times and can be an interesting story. It could be done well. Can WWE do it well? I highly doubt it. But it should be done at some point, and whoever does it first and does it best is going to have the leading edge on that being the forward-thinking brand. But nobody's ever going to overtake WWE, so it doesn't really matter.
Wait,
Yeah.
quick question. Do we press rematch, or do we exit out of it?
Private lobby.
Private
Go to,
lobby.
Private lobby.
Okay.
Oh, also, I just realized some chips are here right now. It wouldn't be a podcast without chips. Sorry.
But yeah,
So, yeah.
this feud, I don't think you can call it feud, but storyline now.
Boring storyline.
It's just
Wait, I have one thing to say about Raw.
Okay.
what?
My huge complaint about Raw that's happening every week is SmackDown does squash matches too, but it's to build on character. But this Raw had so many squash matches that were unnecessary.
I know, that's what made it so shit.
Especially one match I'll talk about when we get to it.
Yeah.
So the
I
next
mean,
match. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Go
it's a
ahead.
promo.
No, I was just
Hang
gonna
on.
say, like, I just want the whole storyline to be over, so we can have something
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, the
I
next
got a lot
deal
of
was
things
it was a promo. It wasn't a match. The Jinder Mahal came out.
oh, I
And,
got a lot of things to say about this one.
and tried to help Braun Strowman deal with his anger with his new what's it called?
Gimmick?
Guru gimmick.
Guru thing?
Yeah, his
Oh,
guru gimmick. I don't at all agree with the B plus Bleacher Report gave it. Talking about this segment was fun. No. It wasn't.
I can rant on this thing so badly.
This was bad.
This segment was bad. That was like one of the worst segments Braun Strowman had to deal with.
The new
It's not even Braun that was
version,
bad, it was the other stuff around it that was just
I know.
ruining it.
Yeah,
I know,
Braun was
Especially
fun.
Kevin Owens' part.
And
How
that's
is
why I
Kevin
said
Owens
Braun
came
had
from
to
a
deal with this
badass
segment.
heel who beat John Cena, threw MGK off a stage, to fucking being a bitchy heel, complaining, saying that his kids are scared for him. I want Kevin Owens to beat Braun at SummerSlam for the money.
The
in bank.
only
I want
plus
the old
from
Kevin Owens
that
back.
was that Kevin Owens was actually able to deliver that and look believable. He gave the promo that they gave him with freaking. I mean, it was a
Because they
good
make him look so
promo,
whiny.
but
That's not Braun. I mean, that's not Kevin Owens at all.
well, that's not Kevin Owens that people want. That's not the fight Owens fight Kevin Owens that people want to see. But at the same point, I think they're trying to get back to that point. He's going to get fed up to the point where he actually fights back against Braun and really fights. And I think it might be an interesting match. And I think that might be what leads to the actual team up of Kevin Owens and Braun Strowman. And I really do hope that happens because Kevin Owens is a great character. And I think with Braun Strowman's having his back, it would be better than Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah,
I believe
it'll be interesting.
SummerSlam.
Fighting.
they should do the unthinkable and actually have Kevin Owens beat Braun. Because
I
you
could
think
see
about
that.
it, anytime the person that has the Money in the Bank never actually fails when they redefend it. Besides Mr. Kennedy, but it was because of an injury. But this would actually add some shock value and actually make Raw interesting to watch again. Because then you want to tune into Raw to see what's going to happen the next night. Because Raw's so unwatchable. Because it's
know what
nothing
they
is
should
building
do?
towards SummerSlam right now. They just
So,
confirmed
I-
matches. But they didn't build on any matches for SummerSlam. SmackDown did this week.
Okay.
I have something interesting they could build off. You know how they always do those matches where they have. Oh, they don't always do the matches like this, but you know sometimes they do that match. It was kind of like we want to call it Ellsworth type deal where Ellsworth, you know, won over a big champion. You know what I'm saying, a big superstar. But what if they had somebody like Kevin Owens just keep on winning against somebody like Braun Strowman, like well, basically Braun Strowman. Have him like just keep getting wins and wins off Braun Strowman, and then have Braun Strowman just get so pissed off. And you know how Braun Strowman right now, yeah, you know how Braun Strowman is just like one of those kind of semi-funny, you know, monster type people. You know,
comedic, like Big Show.
Yeah, yeah, he has a comedic storyline right now. They should have it so where Kevin Owens just keeps beating him constantly. They're like getting pinfalls over him, even if it's like cheating or whatever. And then have Braun Strowman just snap and just be the actual monster among men and just start like destroying everyone and trying to get revenge and shit like that. Like how he was brought up to be in the beginning until they started doing this comedic shit with him.
This year has probably been the worst. Last year's Braun can destroy this Braun any second. The Greatest Rumble, I don't feel like this counts on Braun. I forgot about Braun winning that. They should have just did Braun win the 2018 Rumble, because Braun may have got the most eliminations, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. It's just on Canon Rumble, and having him win a title with a 10-year-old, it just made him look stupid. Sorry, the Baron Corbin. It made him look... They're making him... They're just... They want to make Braun Strowman look strong, but yet not make him like... They want to make him look like an anti-face. The stuff he's doing now is just... kind of just for comedicness. But the crowd loves it. The crowd's sucking into it, and they're gonna slowly ruin Braun.
Well, they're not really ruining Braun. Well,
they're just not making him seem like the monster he once was.
If the crowd is enjoying it, they're not really ruining anything. But I don't think it's the thing that Braun really wanted to do. I mean, he's still doing it. I mean, I guess he doesn't mind doing it because he still has the fans behind him.
And
so
might cash in SummerSlam.
Yeah. So maybe, who knows? Maybe after the cash-in, we'll get back to the original Braun Strowman that we used to see. Who knows? But yeah, Jinder Mahal thing, his whole guru thing, I guess they're just giving that to him because they really don't know what to do with him anymore, because he already had his time to shine and he already held titles.
He needs to go to NXT.
So I think they should just not run with that fucking guru shit because it's not working out. I don't see any value in it. I don't see any point of it. I mean, I kinda understand it, but it's just not working out. I don't really care for it. Yeah, just put him back in NXT. God damn it.
And having Baron come out just added more just uselessness. It should just build off Braun and Kevin Owens. Throwing in Baron Corbin and Jinder Mahal was just no reason.
Okay, I'm never doing that.
They should have just what they should have done was have Braun and Kevin Owens have the therapy storyline, while Sasha and Bayley do not have the therapy storyline. They more go on something else. Like, you know what I mean, right? It would have made more sense to have Braun and Kevin Owens be on this kind of storyline. And they want to add some comedic value to it. How about how Braun actually learns his mistakes, but Kevin Owens makes him snap when they're a tag team. Kevin Owens does one thing, and Braun just snaps back to his old ways.
Yeah.
It was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, they missed a lot of opportunities, but that's WWE for you.
I'm never having water ever again. It went down the wrong pipe. Ugh.
Right, Ben. Jeez.
I know. I got dead. I know. I'm gonna have to like watch my brain cells.
What? I think you already lost brain cells. Jeez,
I think I may have just lost all my brain cells. No.
Alright. Oh, I guess we're moving on to the next match.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Mickey versus Natalia. I mean,
Sheep, you there?
it was just 3
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
So it was not
very
huge.
average match here. Natalia versus Mickey James. The no, what's it? Mickey James won because of the distraction from Alexa Bliss, obviously. Very average match to just sell a little bit of a story, but like we were saying earlier with the whole evolution thing, it was like 5 minutes, if that. You know, it accomplished nothing as far as making anybody look good. Nobody looked good here. It only hurt people.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
What's the
Yeah, I
point of
agree.
having a match if nobody looks good?
Like,
That's why I
women like
kind of feel like it
Natalia
was
and
just
Mickey
a
James should
throwaway
be
match.
resourced to this kind of stuff. They are very talented, and definitely these two women are going to the Hall of Fame. They shouldn't be wasted to this kind of crap.
They already wasted Mickey James when they brought her back.
And Natalia too. She's actually one of my top 5 favorites.
They wasted Natalia a long time. Like I said on the previous podcast, I think Natalia's only in the company because of her name.
You
That's
can
all
call
I
this a
feel like. That's
squash
why they
match. It's
keep
only
her.
4 minutes.
Look, the only
That's what I'm saying,
character
it's just a
Natalia
squash
should play is Crazy Cat Lady. She should be like Crazy Cat Lady, and it should be her character, and it should be like heel. She should team up with Alicia Fox.
Alicia Fox.
The fox and the cat.
Exactly. Crazy Cat Lady
What's it,
and the
the
Fox.
fox?
Crazy Fox.
Hey, they should actually do that too.
So, yeah, this was so average that I'm just going to move on to the next match. Unless anybody else has something they really want to say about this.
Oh,
No,
goodness
but
gracious.
there's not really
The-
much to say in the next match either, or the next match after that, or the
And
next
Well,
then
there's
match
a
after
promo
that.
next.
Well, that's why we
There's
spent
actually
so
a promo
much time.
next.
That's why we spent so much time at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because you know we're done with Natalia, Mickey James. It was there. It was a match. It happened. Titus Worldwide stepped up to all his and this was a little bit more than a squash match because well, it wasn't a squash match. It was a promo.
It was.
And
Yeah,
Titus
that's a promo.
Worldwide actually sent the Authors of Pain pack in. This was the most unbelievable piece of WWE writing I've seen since they brought the Bludgeon Brothers back the first day, and everybody was like, "What?" But now we kind of we understand.
I
But
give this promo a 0. There was no why. Just why?
how can Titus
There was
Worldwide,
no why, just why.
who can't beat anybody, be
How
able to
is he
send the
right?
Authors of Pain
Didn't-
packing?
Didn't AOP beat Titus Worldwide
Huh?
already? Like, didn't
Yeah, they
have a
beat
match
him
with
last
him?
week. But yeah, this week the Titus Worldwide sends them packing, and they
Yeah,
walked
that makes
away.
no sense to me either. That's why I didn't understand, because I was like,
If Paul
Last week
Ellering
they
would have been
beat
there,
him.
he would have slapped both of them.
That they needed him back.
No,
He's
that's
the one
like
that really
what's
puts
gonna
the
happen. It's
AOP
gonna happen.
together.
Is Paul Ellering's gonna go coach the B team, and he's gonna teach them how to beat the AOP.
you know what's gonna happen with Titus Worldwide and the Author's Pain? I'll tell you right now, we're gonna get a shitty storyline that we don't want to see between these guys. And
It's already
feud is
starting
gonna
now
be
with that bad
terrible. This feud is gonna be terrible. Watch this
already
feud
is.
last all the way up to SummerSlam. Watch.
It's gonna.
I tell you right fucking now,
They don't
it's
like.
gonna
They
last up
drag
until
feuds.
SummerSlam, and I'll tell you why it's gonna last till there. It's because they're trying to give AOP that heat. They're trying to give them the activity they need so they can go after the tag team titles. And I understand that. But why pick a team like Titus Worldwide?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
You
I
have the
understand
revival.
because most of the tag team talent in Raw right now is really not that great.
Besides
but
the revival, we're being wasted, by the way.
yeah, most of them are, like you said, most of them are being wasted, and most of them are just there and doing jobbing. I mean, we don't really have an active tag team right now, other than the people that are holding the tag team titles
Who
or
are a
the
joke,
ones
by the way.
previous. So
The rival's
I
not gonna
understand
get
why-
the revival's not gonna get a push because Scott Dawson's racist.
What?
Oh God, not on
But
that
Vince
again.
McMahon himself is a racist.
Oh, then maybe they get an extra push.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
mean, because I've heard that
that's
he's
right there.
given up in
That's
their tag team division. I've heard
what I
that he's
said
given
right
up in
there is
that.
gonna be
I
set
can
in
clearly see.
stone. If that all becomes true, I called it, and you heard it here first, guys. I mean, this is why I'm getting the feeling. This is why I'm getting out of this. They're just giving AOP that, that screen time that they need to make their way to the titles. And it's starting with Titus Worldwide. Shitty ass feud that's gonna happen. I don't really give a shit about. Yeah.
I feel
You
like
guys?
there's no reason of this feud. There's no reason not to
I think
do
we
it.
spent too much time talking about it. The more time we spend talking about it, the more WWE's like, man, these guys are really going on this. We got to keep it going.
And more brain cells we
Yeah.
lose, so
Yeah, so they're like,
well,
let's just move on. Mojo
Oh no.
Brawley versus Tyler Breeze. We didn't get a lights
Another
out,
squash
so
match.
I'm done.
Another
No,
squash
we didn't
match.
get lights
No lights out, so
Which
Street Killing's
disappointed
done.
me. I'm done with Mojo.
I give it
thought
a
they had
dud.
something going.
You thought he had a
They had something
catchphrase.
going with Mojo. Yeah, I thought he did.
No,
He
no
did
lights out.
He did that thing. He did. Yeah. I thought I was waiting for it. I seen him do that little move, and I'm like, oh shit, here comes lights out. But nah, didn't happen. I was like, no lights out, no
What
catchphrase.
does WWE
Irrelevant
see in Mojo? I don't see what they see.
I see something in Mojo, but
I don't
if
really
they
see anything
can-
in him.
If they can play their cards right with Mojo, I can see something going for him. At this point, I'm just on a thin line right now. Like, I'm balancing on a thin thread with Mojo. I kind of see what they're trying to do, but I don't think they're gonna get it right. I really don't think they're gonna get it right with him. I mean, they tried before, and it didn't really work out. But this is a little bit different, I guess, in a way. But I don't know. I don't really see him. I still really don't see him as a mid-carder yet. And I can see him fight somebody like Baron Corbin and people like that, but
If they want to build on him, he shouldn't be doing squash matches. He should be trying to actually build his wrestling skills on Raw slowly, instead of having 3-minute matches.
That's what you need to do if you're trying to build a character. You need to give them squash matches so it's more believable in a way for them to work their ranks up. It's kind of like, you're starting from the bottom and you get your way to the top. And if they give him those little small matches and he wins over them, that's just more screen time for him, other than not giving him any screen time. You know what I'm saying? Because if they're not giving, these superstars to build them up, they don't give them screen time to build them up, then it's not going to work up. They can't just take that superstar and throw him in a main card event off the bat. They kind of got to give them, a little bit of a build up, a little bit of a workup, and get them up there to that rank. It's more believable that way. I mean, I understand the whole thing about, jobbers and what they're there for. I understand it, squash matches, but sometimes too much squash matches is just too much. And especially in this show, how there was way too much squash matches. It's like, I understand 1 or 2 squash matches in the show, but there was way too much in this one.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it was squash match. One big squash match. So the next match, Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. And then it was Balor, Seth Rollins versus Drew. Then it turned into the tag team match.
Here, I definitely have a lot of things to say on this. I've about had it with almost every Raw having one match just been being talked about all night. That's gonna turn into an impromptu tag team match. This is like every Raw for the past years now. It needs to stop. I was actually expecting a match out of this. I was so disappointed they decided to do an impromptu tag team match. It needs to stop with these tag team matches. It's getting really annoying now, the impromptu tag team matches.
I agree. It's old. They're doing it way too much. They're overusing it. But
Hey, at least they stopped having the first promo of the night be the main event.
if there's anybody to do it with, it's at least a decent combination of superstars. Um, and you know, you got to do something to. If you didn't, where else were you going to fit the other two superstars in that match?
They could have did a promo.
About to just say a fatal
Just saying.
Them, just for like something.
They could have did a promo for this. No matches. They could have just did promos.
That's definitely true. But the thing that that you know, like how like they were doing like the Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, what's that thing? Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Imagine how it's like having like a little bit of a fatal four-way just for the Intercontinental Championship, featuring those 4 competitors.
That would be fun.
Will they ever do a fatal four-way? Will they ever put Drew McIntyre in that? I don't know what they would probably do. But that's like
what I'm Finn Balor in there. Because if it's just about Dolph and Zeth, Drew's involvement makes sense, but Finn's involvement makes 0 sense.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just there so people be happy.
No, you know why Balor is in here?
Why?
Wanna know why? They still gotta give him that screen time.
That is sadly true. That's how most people on the show now.
It would be unfair to not give him screen time, because he does deserve that Universal title since he got back. And if they don't give him that screen time, it would be very unfair for him.
I'm taking notice.
Because he returns and he doesn't get the title yet. Because they're just still, you know, how can you give somebody a title that the title hasn't been around yet since, what was it?
Greatest.
Was it Greatest Royal Rumble?
I think it was.
No. Or was it? I don't remember. See, that's the thing. What is Universal title? I mean, see what I mean? This is like, how can you give somebody a shot at it if, you know, it's not there, it's not existing?
Yeah, no one has gotten a rematch for the Universal
title. What is that on, like New Japan or Ring of Honor or something? Something new that they created?
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that. What is that?
Yeah.
Well, no one gets a rematch for that belt.
Yeah, I actually will say this right now. Yo, the true Universal Champion, because like I was actually watching a promo from back in, I think it was back in New Japan. Kevin Owens actually said that he is the champion of the universe. So that yeah, I think like that's where the Universal Championship came from. Was just that line, Kevin Owens. But
he's my favorite champion.
Yo, if you do not know like the Kevin Owens promo, I know. Yo, just look it up. It's like it's the most funniest thing. It's got the Young Bucks. It's got Adam Cole, which I'm probably gonna mention this probably in the rooms very soon. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, but very interesting, indeed.
I don't think like the Universal title is getting a good name on it when all the people that have held the title belt so far have not gotten one rematch.
Well,
Finn hasn't gotten his. Kevin hasn't gotten his.
How many champions have we had? How many champions have we had? We've had 4 champions. Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens.
Title?
Finn Balor.
Yeah, for Universal Champion. Right? Finn Balor. Kevin Owens. Goldberg. And now our 4th one, which is now making the damn title irrelevant.
I know what the problem with the Universal title is.
There's one more champion. It's got
to be the DC universe. That must be the problem. They need to switch it to the Marvel universe.
Oh, definitely.
They need to bring back the old World Heavyweight Championship. It's simpler than that.
Oh, definitely.
I know how they can bring that back. Have Braun cash in the next night. Braun just destroys the hell of that belt, saying I be sitting around holding this piece of trash, and he brings back the World Championship the next week.
The old World Heavyweight Championship is basically on SmackDown. That's the original title right there. It's just redesigned.
Actually, if you think about it, both of the belts are in that one belt. If you think about it.
Basically, yeah. But they're not gonna uniform it.
I feel like that's what Braun should. That's like Braun would do. Would you imagine Braun saying he would not hold this thing around, destroys the belt, brings back the old World Championship the next week. That's like Braun would do.
Yeah,
Maybe if Braun fought AJ Styles and won and uniformed it.
Yeah.
Because it's pointless at this point. Universal title.
Yeah.
I don't think. So Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns are still not gonna even put any meaning into that title, because Roman Reigns, not a lot of people love Roman Reigns, and people still won't love Roman Reigns when he wins the title, even if Bobby does cash in and wins the title. Not a lot of people care about Bobby Lashley right now because he hasn't had a good comeback. And what's the point of giving him that title opportunity if he's not gonna get a fucking pop? You know what I'm saying? It's like he hasn't got a pop when he came back. He hasn't got a pop when he's in matches. It's like everybody's fucking dull with Bobby Lashley because he's been written badly and they give him bad storylines. It's just like it still would put no meaning.
The only person to take the title from Brock Lesnar is Braun Strowman. That's the only person they should have take the title. That's the hands down heir apparent to the throne. It's Braun Strowman.
Or Elias.
If it's not,
look,
I could see that, but if it's not Braun Strowman, then WWE is making a big mistake. Braun Strowman is hot.
Okay.
Well, if it's not Braun Strowman or Seth Rollins, Seth Rollins is by far the most popular and the best match. The person putting on the best matches and the person who deserves it by sheer work ethic and ring quality, it should be Seth Rollins.
It should be Seth, but he already had his title.
I see what he's doing.
Hang on a second, guys. Can I ask a question? How many opportunities has Roman Reigns actually had at that title? He's had like so many opportunities at that damn title than like anyone else. So
I would much prefer
Finn Balor. Remember the Fatal Way?
Yeah, I think Roman Reigns needs to actually go all the way to the back of the line and just let someone else just take that opportunity. Like, say for example, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, like a lot of these other guys that they should actually just let them have a shot at Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns should be all the way at the back. I'm saying this right now. Yeah, I don't care if you're like a freaking Brock or Roman Reigns fan or what. I'm saying this right now. Roman Reigns does not deserve another opportunity at that title. And it was so stupid that they made him win over Bobby Lashley. It just made no sense.
I see what WWE's doing by this point. They keep on hearing us. They want the title of Brock. That's the only thing they're hearing from us. They're just gonna give it to Roman. They don't care. They're just gonna get it off, and that's all we want. That's all we're cheering. We didn't say specific person we want to win it. We just want the title off Brock, and WWE's just giving our wish. And we're
that's why they shoved the Brock angle down our throats, so we would be happy that it went to anybody than Brock.
Yeah, I could actually see them actually pulling like what they did. Like, you know how Roman Reigns was remember when Roman Reigns won the WWE Championship at Survivor Series, right?
Yeah, and he didn't shake Triple H's hand.
Yeah, and then after that actually happened, Sheamus cashed in. I could see what could happen at SummerSlam. Like Roman Reigns wins the match, then out of nowhere, Braun's music hits, cashes in, and then takes home the title. That's what I could see.
Yeah, trying to get us to feel bad for him, but the crowd's just gonna cheer on top of their lungs.
Definitely.
Are we even gonna talk about the Liv Morgan match?
No.
We kind of already skipped over that match because we kind of did, basically mashing the Bobby Lashley and Roman.
I'm not really worried about that one.
It was just it was just kind of a squash match, to be honest.
Another match.
Liv Morgan shit.
Yeah, it was just kind of a squash match, and now Ember Moon looked great in that match.
Oh, hang on. We did miss. I think it was after the Liv Morgan and Ember Moon match. Elias tried to attempt to perform his song.
Well, he did that throughout the whole show.
To the 100%.
Yeah, he did that throughout the whole show. Tried to attempt the promo.
Yeah, I was listening to his song. It's freaking good.
Sheep said it was bad. I don't think it's really that bad. I mean, I don't think
it is bad because it's not good music. It's WWE music. It's a character. It's not real music.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. You didn't even give me a chance to say it. I was saying that I think you only think it's bad because of that way it is, what you just said. That's WWE music. It's sponsored by WWE and
It's a
distributed by
parody.
WWE. It's a parody type shit. I mean, I understand that, but I think if what's his name now, Elias actually did make a real album, there's something
It
some
might be
potential right
okay,
there for a real
but
album,
as
and it
far
might
as
be
the
okay.
lyrics that he put out here, they're all really forced. It's like somebody just trying to make all this stuff fit together and fit in this character. It's
Yeah,
not from the heart. It's not. You could tell it's
yeah,
not. There's no substance behind
yeah.
it. So I'm just not
Let's
into
just
it.
say it's on par to that rock album, alright?
It pisses me off that there's a whole lot of actual people out there working their asses off and they'll never get close to top 10 on the fucking iTunes, but this crap can be top 10 on the billboards and all that kind of stuff. It's
What are you talking about? Most of the top 10 on the fucking
Oh,
billboards
you're
and
true.
everything
You're
are crap.
absolutely right. It's all crap. So, argument withdrawn. You absolutely have a point. You got me
I
there.
mean, it's on par with all that shit. Or I could say it was even better than all that shit. It's better than the mumbling shit that we hear.
Let's not get into a music debate because I don't like the mumble rap
No,
either. But either
no.
way, let's move on to
Ember Moon, Liv
SmackDown.
Morgan, yep, that's done.
Let's
SmackDown,
move
yep.
right on to SmackDown. SmackDown kicked off with
Better
Randy
show.
Orton delivering one of the best
The
promos
superstar killer.
I've seen from Randy Orton in a long time. This, like
Yeah, amazing
Soulamazin,
promo.
this made me excited to watch WWE again. Randy Orton
Mostly
needed this.
SmackDown.
Randy Orton they better not ruin this. Randy Orton better destroy Jeff Hardy and then go right after whoever the next babyface fan favorite is, whether it's Bobby Roode and he just destroys Bobby Roode and then goes and destroys Rusev
Well, he's on
Day.
Raw.
Well, whoever, it doesn't matter. He's Randy Orton. He can go wherever the fuck
He'll
he wants
destroy
to.
AJ Styles.
Yeah,
I'd
I figured
say-
AJ Styles.
I'd say he slowly destroys the lower mid-card babyfaces up to AJ.
Yeah, I'd say
This
up
is
to
more like a
AJ. But
superstar
the thing
killer,
is-
Randy Orton.
Yeah, I
here's
think he
the
works
thing
his
with the
way
Legend
up.
Killer. That Legend Killer didn't give a fuck. He just went after the legends in general.
I like this Randy Orton better. Like, he slowly builds up to getting more hatred to the point where it comes to AJ, people are thinking, don't do it, don't do it.
Well, here's the problem. Nobody's gonna hate it.
They're gonna
Well,
love it.
there's only.
This is what we wanted.
Here's who he's got to kill. Daniel Bryan.
Oh, I
That's
can
gonna
see
get him
that.
booed.
I
That is
can
gonna
see
get him
that.
booed.
If he goes
I could
after
actually
Daniel
see a
Bryan,
boo from that too.
and,
I mean, I think
and he destroys
honestly, I don't
Daniel
want to go to
Bryan.
this. I don't want to say this or go to this point, but I think Daniel Bryan is more respected and more loved than AJ Styles, and I know that's
I mean, that's
heavily
kinda
putting
true,
it out
sadly.
there, but it's true if you look at it.
It is
It's
really
true.
true. They don't even cheer like for AJ anymore. AJ's not really cheered as much as he used to be loved. Now he's being called overrated.
Yeah, he is being called overrated now, but it's pretty sad because honestly,
Well,
I
I'm
agree
sorry,
with
but I was
Soul.
kind of saying overrated when he first came. Because I feel like we didn't get the best AJ Styles. We got
Yeah,
the
yeah,
40-year-old
But
AJ
that was-
Styles.
Yeah.
But now
I was gonna say, I
AJ
agree with Soul on the time he said that we're not getting the best AJ Styles that we should get, which was on par. I understand that. And when Soul said we should have, the AJ Styles from TNA and whatnot, he was amazing in TNA and shit. And all of that shit. I mean, I've seen some of his matches in TNA when I used to watch it back in the day, and I really liked AJ Styles. And I've seen some, Ring of Honor matches and, the whole Bullet Club thing, and I've seen some of that. And he's an amazing superstar, and I feel like, I said it before in the other podcast, I think they're just, keeping him as a banner, basically, just, a superstar there that, everybody really loves and knows, but not really giving him full potential and getting him out there because they don't really want him injured to be out of action, because basically if you look at it, he's selling that brand right now. AJ Styles put a lot of work in SmackDown, and that's basically why SmackDown sells tickets is because of AJ. It's basically Seth Rollins and AJ at this point in WWE. You know what I'm saying?
And off.
So,
Well,
I don't know, man.
I was gonna.
But
let
either way you
do
look at it, the right for Randy Orton is probably the best thing going in SmackDown right now, in my opinion.
He needs to go to Raw. The only way to get this even more over is Randy Orton doesn't care if he cross brands.
Yeah, I can see him cross branding. I can see him being finished with SmackDown, basically killing off the baby faces, the new superstar baby faces, basically. The new generation of baby faces, and then moving on to Raw and doing the same thing.
He needs to kill. This is what I see Randy Orton. This is what Randy Orton needs to do. I feel like he should go on Raw and SmackDown. The only way for this to be a success, slowly kill, run down legends like I'm not saying Jeff Hardy's run down or anything, but Jeff Hardy's been WWE a long time. He slowly kills people like that. Means he goes to Raw, takes out Matt Hardy. He tries to take out maybe. This time, do you think he should go after Undertaker? Officially make Undertaker officially retire? If Undertaker comes back on Raw, he attacks Undertaker and saying, I will officially make your ass retire. When was the last
time we actually seen an Undertaker and Randy Orton match?
Too long ago. I think it'd be like 13 years ago.
Very long ago.
I wouldn't mind actually seeing that, honestly. I wouldn't mind actually the Viper killing off officially Undertaker. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Like, it would make a lot of sense, and it would be it would be a better ending for Undertaker if you think about it, because I know
that's how
the whole thing with Brock Lesnar and the whole thing with Roman Reigns.
Well, I was so mad. I was so mad when Brock Lesnar opened up Randy Orton in like 30 seconds into the match and just ruined fucking that whole pay-per-view for me. I was so mad at that.
That's how I feel like Randy Orton's character should go. He needs to slowly get hated by getting people like Jeff and Matt out. Then quickly coming to people that are new. Just take out the ones that are run down. The ones that are in his way.
That's still in the company. Yeah. But
he needs to succeed. That's the only way to get him over. He shouldn't be saying the stuff and he fails. Randy Orton needs to succeed.
I really loved his promo, man. One of the best promos in WWE. I don't think The Miz could even beat that promo if he tried hard enough.
Talk about Miz, he was on today, so don't worry.
I know Miz got his own promo too. But
which, by the way, I love the promo.
Everybody loves Miz's promo. That's the only thing Miz really has going for him is his promos. If it wasn't for Miz's promos, he would be irrelevant in WWE.
Sadly, you're right.
No, he's kind of earned his way.
Yeah, with promos.
I mean, but now he can actually wrestle.
Yeah,
he can put on good matches. He can put people over. He can sell.
Like the best or anything.
I don't know. He's pretty technically proficient now. He's
amazing.
You do enough of anything enough times, and you become very, very good at it. He's very good at it now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a bad, he's not like a bad wrestler or decent or anything. I know he's a good wrestler. I know he's good in the ring.
Oh, what the?
Darn.
She's been destroying us.
Kill Roman for the win. Anyway, the next match. Let's just move on to the next match, which is Rusev versus Andrade Cien Almas.
Decent match, actually.
Well, I'm still,
I got a lot to talk about this because it involves Almas as well. Of course, there's a big topic about this, but go on and talk about the match.
Well, in the match, you had pretty much the angle turned out to be that Aiden English pretty much ruined it for Rusev and causes the loss. Even though you could attribute as much of it to Zelina Vega as Aiden English. This is definitely leading toward more of a breakup angle for Rusev Day, and I definitely think it's coming. But I'm kind of on the fence about either way. I'm not sure if I think Rusev should be a face, and I don't know if it should be under the Rusev Day gimmick. I think it should be a different, just natural thing. Andrade Cien Almas. I mean, what can you say? A lot of people don't like him. I didn't like him, but he's pretty good. And Zelina Vega definitely adds credibility to him. So, I mean, I definitely see him going somewhere high up on the card soon.
Especially his match with AJ Styles last week.
Very soon. So here, yeah. Almas. I don't know if you guys seen the article. I sent the article in Discord. Supposedly, insider information here, McMahon wants Almas to be high on a pedestal. What? Almas is supposed to be the next big thing, apparently, in SmackDown. And yeah, that's what McMahon wants. And I don't see it. I don't see it. And Almas, I don't see him being there. But I understand it. I get it. Because Almas did put in a lot of work pretty recently. When he first came in NXT, when he first came in NXT, I didn't see much for him. I didn't see much for him at all, and I never cared about him. And then, you know, all this work he's putting in NXT and all this promos and stuff, he's been building his way up and whatnot, and I understand it. And I understand why they throw him in that AJ Styles match.
Also,
and they throw him in this Rusev match. It totally makes sense that, you know, they would want him on a high pedestal, but
I'm gonna throw this out there.
I really think there's other people that deserve it.
He gave it to be their first 5-star match in 7 years against Johnny.
Well, my thing is, I think that WWE definitely manufactured Andrade Cien Almas' push. The party guy angle that nobody liked at first. When he first came to NXT, he was like this party guy who didn't care, and he had girls on every on his shoulder, like 2 girls on each shoulder, and all this.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah,
nobody cared for
anything about it.
Hey,
they did that on purpose. They did that so that you would remember.
Unexpected.
You would remember how he turned it around and all of a sudden became really relevant, and how at first they built that angle so that he could turn around and flip over and become relevant. I guarantee you that entire push was manufactured from the beginning. From when they were doing that party guy thing, they already had it in their mind that Zelina Vega was going to come and whip him into shape and turn the whole thing around. A lot of people are giving him a lot of credit for having done so well with having started off with a rocky start, but I think that rocky start was on purpose, and I think they kind of cheated a little bit in my eyes in that way. I really think that's what happened. I may be wrong. But I think it was manufactured from the start.
I understand where you're coming from.
Speaking of party guys, you just remember, because he almost kind of reminds me of where's No Way Jose been?
He was feuding with Mojo Rawley, and then
he was feuding with Mojo Rawley. Yeah.
How do I remember him anymore? Because both of them kind of seem related to me.
Well, no, the Andrade angle was about he didn't care about anything but the partying. No Way Jose is more of a role model, like a positive, kid-friendly
mascot, like a mascot.
Well, if you actually do look at the No Way Jose gimmick right now, it does remind me of Adam Rose.
Because Adam Rose says he does it better.
It's recycled from Adam Rose. That's what it was. It's recycled shit, and that's why I never cared for it, and that's why I have a big gripe for No Way Jose is because of that. But yeah. Speaking about Almas, honestly, I think he's a good in-ring performer. I like his style in the ring, and I could see him going places. And if that's what Mr. McMahon wants, is him being the next WWE champion, And I don't know how soon he wants this, but from what I read, they want it pretty soon. So maybe next year, the least. Well, sooner. As soon maybe the whole thing with Samoa Joe and AJ, and maybe if Samoa actually wins the title, maybe we'll see Almas go for it. Who knows? I don't know what they're gonna do with AJ. Because AJ can't be there for long holding that title. You know what I mean? I know he put a lot of work
without the title,
and I think they'll probably end up dropping AJ for, like, not really dropping him from WWE, but probably give him a break or something, and it's well deserved. He does deserve a break, especially Seth Rollins too.
that's where Randy Orton comes in. And
Okay. I was gonna say this, yeah, but I don't know if I should leave this to the rumors. Rumor does have it that what's his name? Oh wait, I don't think it's, yeah, okay, it's AJ Styles, Nakamura, and the club may be going back to Nilsson. That's what I've been hearing.
Mike, your mic is messed up.
yeah, kind of going
Your
like,
mic was
AJ stop.
Okay,
Well,
yo,
say it
AJ
again?
Styles. Okay, I was looking up a little bit of an article. Yeah, it had AJ Styles, New Japan Pro Wrestling are interested in bringing back AJ Styles, Nakamura, and the club back to New Japan.
Most likely they're gonna accept it.
Yeah, I
Well,
could see them accepting it. I mean,
yeah.
AJ Styles, you know, he put a lot of work in there too. And the
That's
club at
true.
the moment is like, where the fuck are they? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the club still wants to be around WWE. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like Nakamura.
Oh, yeah, I forgot they were on
we haven't
SmackDown.
heard- We haven't even heard from Nakamura in a while, eh?
But Nakamura, I don't think Nakamura is gonna go because he still needs to put in more work in WWE. He hasn't really gotten his
Full
his
potential.
shine in the main brand yet. You know what I mean? He's currently holding a title. That's good, but I think he needs a longer reign, and I don't know how long his reign is gonna be, but we'll see. We'll see.
Gotcha. So the next match was R-Truth versus Samoa Joe. A little bit
Oh
of
my
a squash
God.
match. But this one served a
Samoa
purpose.
Joe,
This-
shoot.
This served a purpose. It let us know that R-Truth is still alive, and
Yeah,
thanks to
yeah.
Ben, we know it was due to a shoulder surgery where his shoulder looked like shoulder looked like dinosaur bones or something sticking out of it. He had spikes in his shoulder from bone fragments and shit. It was pretty brutal looking. But
That's
had
crazy.
surgery that had him put out for about a year. So we got R-Truth back wrestling with Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe obviously bringing home the win, but I was glad to see R-Truth back in the ring for a little bit.
Me too. R-Truth is soon to be legend, bruh. He hasn't got what he
His
deserves.
best run was 2011.
Yeah, he hasn't
What's
got
up?
what he deserves. I mean, he had hardcore title run, and I think IC title run. I think was it IC title or United States title? I don't know. It was one of the
I
mid
think
card
the
titles.
United States title.
Yeah, I
Okay.
beat the Miz for it.
Look, that
Yeah.
little Jimmy shit was gold.
Yeah,
It
that little
was.
Jimmy
He made
shit
some
was
so
amazing.
stupid work.
And the comedy gimmicks where he was in these matches like the the ladder match,
Money
but
in the
he
Bank.
was afraid of
He was like,
heights.
"Oh my bad." That's his three famous lines. Oh my bad. I'm not gonna
Guys,
tell
this
on
is
our
on
truth.
the-
He deserves a
this is on-
push.
I know, that's what I'm
Guys,
saying.
sorry.
He's definitely
My
soon to
bad.
be legend in WWE. And he
definitely.
deserves his push. And I understand.
He should be Ron
I don't-
Killens.
I know. I don't see. I understand it that WWE hasn't gave him his push yet, and probably won't give him his push honestly because of his status, basically. Like, I'm not trying to say
his
that
age,
he's old.
pretty much.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm not trying to say that he's old, because we still
But he's
have
40.
older wrestlers.
He's like 45.
We still have older wrestlers in WWE, and you
Yeah,
know
Sheamus is 40.
they can still put on shows. I mean,
Goldberg
Randy
was
Orton's
50.
kind of old and whatnot. Yeah, Goldberg's fucking 50 and shit. But
I mean, both of your world champions are on the 40s.
he deserves a world champion run. I mean, even if it's only a month. I mean, he deserved to hold that gold. Even if it's only a month. I don't care if it's a
Vince
month.
won't do it.
I don't
Vince
care
doesn't
if
let
it's a
African
week.
Americans hold the WWE title.
Just
He
put
doesn't let
that
him hold a
on
prestigious
him.
title.
Just give him that title, bruh. Just so
Vince
it's on
won't
his
do it.
resume,
Like I
bruh.
said, Vince doesn't let African Americans hold his world title for some reason, nor anybody else that's not from America, because Vince is racist.
Well,
Okay.
how's that? Because we have Jinder Mahal holding. He's not from America.
Because he's from Canada. He's from Canada.
Yeah.
He's actually more from
And we
Canada.
have Kevin Owens too. He's from
Yeah, but
Canada,
his
too.
whole gimmick. What? No, like I'm about to like.
Oh.
Wow.
Somebody's mic-
What?
Yeah, but his
Hey,
whole
fix your
gimmick,
mic.
like. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to. What is wrong with my
What are you
mic today?
doing, Ben?
It never does this thing. I don't know, but like,
Thought he was
I'm gonna say
punching
this
you.
right now. I will say this right now. Like, the whole gimmick, like, of what WWE is like literally giving Jinder Mahal about when, like, 1.3 billion. What was it again? Here we go.
Ben, do you even know
Indians.
why that gimmick was a thing? Do you know why
No.
Jinder Mahal thing
No.
is what it is? It's for the money, Ben.
And also the
Money,
steroid
but-
freaking looked like he took.
already
Yeah,
signed
I mean, he
a
worked
10-year
hard for his
but it was
contract
like
abs.
deal.
I'll
so-
agree. He
They
worked hard for
already
his
signed-
abs.
They already signed a 10-year contract deal with fucking Saudi Arabia, bruh. They
Yeah,
fucking
but
made it.
what
They
happened-
made it work. That
Yeah.
just because of that whole Jinder Mahal thing got them that contract and that money
Okay.
deal.
Okay.
Congratulations
Wait.
for them to making
Wait.
that big money move.
We're still
Congratulations
talking
for them.
about the
Yeah, Saudi
R-Truth to
Arabia.
Samoa Joe thing.
Yeah, we
I
are,
have-
but
I have things- I
you
have
know,
something to say on that.
Ben likes to talk about Jinder Mahal over here for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of friggin' Jinder Mahal. I'll be the first one to say that. I'm not a big fan of him.
I
Alright.
actually with the R-Truth,
so-
that's the best he's ever looked in the ring. I love the way he was moving fast in the ring.
Yeah.
Haven't seen that in
Well-
R-Truth in like years. Kind of like the Undertaker. He's like moving really fast. The surgery really helped him.
Yeah, he's recovered well, I guess, for what it
I
looked
love
at.
the way he was moving fast, and I love like having like TNA live right there. We kind of had that tonight. AJ, R-Truth,
It's-
Samoa Joe.
And not just R-Truth, I'm happy that Samoa Joe is back in action as well, because he was missing for quite time,
See-
and he was just thrown in randomly in some matches and some feuds. Like when he first got thrown back in, he was feuding with basically everybody. I was so confused what they were doing with Samoa Joe.
I like what
I'm
they're
like,
doing with
what
Samoa
the
Joe
fuck?
recently, having him squash people we know about, because that makes him
Yeah.
look like a legitimate monster.
Yeah.
SmackDown
And-
kind
Yeah,
of gets it right with the squashes. Besides
We
the
could
other.
actually have him actually bring back the Nation of Violence gimmick he had in TNA.
I'll be happy
I want
if
Austin
Samoa
Truth
Joe
back.
wins the title from AJ Styles, because I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
He's a great wrestler to me, and his promos are not that bad. I like his promos. Some people think his promos are amazing, but I think they're pretty decent.
I can't be the only one that wants Austin Truth back, right?
Okay, Awesome Truth, in my opinion, it was okay, but like the feuds they were in, like against Triple H, CM Punk, even the whole Rock and Cena business, which that to me did not make no sense.
Yeah, that's where that team just collapsed.
Yeah, it was all because of Cena and The Rock.
Because what they did in October is probably one of the best moments in WWE history. The way they just went to Hell in a Cell like that, just 2 months later
Yeah.
losing to The Rock and John Cena like little punks. Like what?
Oh, shit. I don't know, man. What's the next match? If we're done talking about
Next match
R-Truth and
is
Samoa Joe?
Asuka versus Billy Kay.
Thank-
Pointless. But it made Asuka look kind of stupid. Like, why was Asuka screaming like that in the promo about Evolution? Asuka doesn't do this.
They did.
Everybody kind of went off character about the Evolution thing. Everybody was all like, "Oh, did you hear about Evolution? It's gonna be so great! I can't wait to watch Evolution. It's my favorite thing ever."
Evolution, first women's pay-per-view. They gotta stop doing it. First women's pay-per-view. We get it. Don't need to shove it down our throats every single week or mention it every single damn women's match.
Panties match.
Okay, I am kind of agreeing with what Nilsson. Yeah,
That's
I am actually kind of
only
agreeing with what
reason why I
Nilsson's now saying.
If they bring that back in Evolution, the bra and panties match, it'll be the only reason why I watch it.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, and then just having like Jerry the King Lawler to commentate on that match. Oh
no, Jerry's gonna be the special guest referee. He'll be the cameraman.
Yeah, Asuka and Billy Kay match. Bleacher Report says C-. I give it exactly that. No, I give it a C fucking minus, bro. I agree with them.
Yo, I would have gave it a D.
I mean, Asuka, what is Asuka now? You can't. I said it before. You can't have this catchphrase anymore ready for Asuka because she's not ready for anything now. Even though she did win this match, even though she did, win this match, but still, it's just.
Yeah, it's not the same Asuka when she lost to.
It's not the same Asuka.
That was shocking. They could have actually. That was actually. I like that how they actually have her lose against Charlotte, but she should actually went on another undefeated streak. When someone's undefeated, I don't think they should be losing matches left and right after that. They should just go another winning streak. And it should be rare when Asuka loses.
Asuka's been up and down recently.
After Charlotte, she should got her momentum back up.
Yeah.
But then someone beats her again. It's shocking. Beating Asuka's rare. It's a casual thing to see now. And they're trying to get her back up to where she was before. But Carmella, her losing Carmella twice, making her look like an idiot, having made distracted by James Ellsworth, just kind of didn't look at her serious.
One of the problems, I actually will say this right now, like about the one in Extreme Rules, Asuka is like so smart, but like at Extreme Rules, she just kept getting distracted. This is not the same Asuka. WWE is just wasting that right now.
And she loses by being thrown into the cage.
You know what I think, honestly? Maybe they're building up for a different Asuka. That's what they're probably
I'm not liking this Asuka.
No. I don't think this is the Asuka we're gonna get. I think right now they're just kind of writing it along right now. They're not. This is not what she's gonna be. They're probably writing a story and a new gimmick for her, and just putting her in these matches just so she can get the screen time and whatnot until they really come up with something legit. I think, you know what, honestly, I wouldn't mind Asuka being a heel, and I think that's what they need to do with her. This is what they should have done.
She wasn't in Japan.
I understand why they didn't do that with her at WrestleMania.
Finally.
Because we already have Shinsuke turn heel, and they don't want to have Asuka turn heel since they have Shinsuke turn heel, and I understand that. And
but it's the right move.
The right move for them right now is they're probably writing it or working on it is to turn her heel, and I would see that coming. I would understand it because the whole thing was nobody's ready for Asuka and somebody was ready, and then she gets pissed off and she starts raging and becoming a heel and basically going after the people that basically won over her and whatnot. I mean, I accept
your mic's
it.
something wrong with your mic, Street.
Yeah, Street.
It just happened?
Yeah, it's fixed now.
Yeah, it's good now. It's good now.
It's done.
Like, sound like.
It's just, I don't know. It's
Do you think they should
Ben,
have?
what was the yodel for?
Do you think they should have build off of Royal Rumble when kind of Ronda Rousey stole Asuka's moment at Royal Rumble? Do you think they should have built off that, or should they should build onto that? Because if you think about it, Ronda's debut kind of ruined Asuka's moment.
I don't know about that situation. But I don't know, cause
either. I'm not sure what.
Because I feel like they were trying to
definitely
build something there. Having Ronda just come right there after Asuka wins and just point to the sign. Like, I feel like something's just teasing.
I can't
Something
really
feels
see
so
a heel
teased.
turn yet. I mean, from what I know, I don't really want
They're
to skip
trying
head
to tease
forth.
it.
I don't want to skip head forth or anything here to predictions or anything. But from what I know, Becky Lynch is supposed to be the next women's champion.
Hell
And-
yeah. She's
And
my top 5 favorite women wrestlers.
I don't really want to see a heel
Trust me,
turn
Street knows a
with
guy.
Asuka. I don't really want to see a heel turn against Becky Lynch and having Asuka win over Becky Lynch
okay.
just for
No.
that heel turn. Just for that heel turn. I would rather see with Carmella, if you know what I mean. But then you can't really give Becky her time, so I think it's probably in the future for Asuka to be a heel turn. It probably won't be soon, but it'll be there.
Because Becky has been deserving that women's. She's the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion holder. It's only right for her to win it and have an actual reign with it this time.
She's definitely been deserving it.
Top 5 favorite women. She's, to be honest, she has been the most. I mean, besides Sasha Banks, has been the most. Like every single four horsewoman's been mistreated, besides Charlotte. But it looks like Becky is looking to be treated better, and Sasha and Bayley seem to be treated better now. So the complaining of them not being mistreated is probably about to go away.
Okay. I could see something a little bit different happen at SummerSlam, and I'm not gonna actually say it, but
Yeah, we don't have to get into it.
No, it's about
I thought you wasn't
could
gonna
see
say
someone.
it then.
No, I could see someone interfering during that match between Carmella and Becky Lynch. I could see someone like probably getting into it, like getting involved in it. But I know like James Dogs won't get involved. But I'm just thinking of some another woman getting involved in this in the match and costing Becky Lynch that victory. I could see that happening. Yeah, but that's just my opinion though. Yeah, and half of me does want to keep seeing like Carmella as champion. Well, she has defeated Charlotte twice, Asuka twice. Yeah, who's she actually gonna beat next time? Oh, well, if you know, Becky Lynch wins,
Becky Lynch is gonna win.
It's gonna become more irrelevant than ever because
Carmella's gonna be leaving WWE. Watch.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of backstage rumors about her and whatnot. She's gonna be leaving.
Yeah, but like,
and Alexa Bliss might be leaving as well. From what I'm hearing.
But I kind of actually
Street's got all the inside sources.
Right, I got all the inside sources, guys. I'm WWE insider over here.
It's not that people. Actually, never mind. That's still not a topic. Never mind. Also talking about.
You guys
Raw
want to
anyway.
move on to the next segment, which is which was already predicted here. This next segment.
Oh my god.
Which was the contract signing that was supposed to happen. This
Wait,
was more,
I actually have one big question on that.
Okay. Yes.
Because apparently, I mean, I know that the actual plans are Samoa Joe, but Paige had something a different planned, and Samoa Joe ruined what her plans were. If you watched the promos.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. This was more focused on the Ellsworth thing. It was story for Ellsworth basically to have him, you know, exit WWE. That's what it was more focused on, was him than the actual contract signing.
But what has me wondering is after it, when Samoa Joe is telling her that, well, I don't know what your plans were originally, but I changed them. Are they going to build something on that? Who was going to be the original opponent? Or
I don't think it was an actual original opponent.
I mean, I know it's just like story. Like it just has me wondering.
It is a story. Yeah, I mean, I was wondering too if there was an actual person too.
Do you think they're gonna do something with that in later times? Samoa Joe, the person that wanted that person that was originally take on AJ Styles is gonna be taking on Samoa Joe later in time if Samoa Joe wins that SummerSlam.
I don't know, probably.
Saying they stole their opportunity. I mean, it's just wonders for the future. They should do that.
So the main thing this led to was the firing of James Ellsworth. I think that was the key factor here.
But it was still fantastic to finally see him gone again.
Yeah.
Yo, James Ellsworth.
Believe me, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, well, James Ellsworth on Twitter
Still,
actually
it was
said
a well put
that...
together promo. It was still fun. It wasn't like bad. Like, it was fun to still watch, even if it wasn't really on the topic it was supposed to be. But when Samoa Joe came out, it certainly was fun to see, so I enjoyed the promo. It wasn't bad to watch, nor was anything in there pointless. Everything just seemed to have flowed really perfectly somehow, and I'm not complaining.
It was good. It was good.
So the next match was Carmella versus Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Good match.
I'm just glad Becky won, because I really thought deep down James Ellsworth was going to interfere, and when he did not, I was happy.
I mean, it was all planned out. I mean, if they had Ellsworth fired before this match, it wouldn't make sense, because from the
that was something that
information of Becky Lynch winning and being the next women's champion.
But you get what I mean, like, this is what WWE does. They make you think someone's gone, and they just come right back.
Yeah, I know, like, the whole freaking Ronda Rousey, she's supposed to be suspended, but they keep mentioning her, and she keeps showing up.
Hey, have you heard about why they did that with her, getting her suspended? They're trying to think of plans for her.
Yeah, they did that so that she could fight, Alexa Bliss at SummerSlam.
People don't like Alexa Bliss just because every single time she's like wrestling all that, she's with the title, but I like to see her without a title and actually still do all that stuff.
She's cool. I like Alexa Bliss. She's got great promo skills, and she has a look and personality that fits
she just needs a break from the title.
Necessary.
She needs a solo run. She needs to build herself without the title. Be more. She hasn't pulled like 5 reigns. I believe it's too much for her. She just needs to, she needs to have more of a solo career without a title.
She's gonna be done.
Yeah. Yep. So luckily Becky Lynch was able to win. She's not happy. I'm happy with Becky Lynch taking the title. I'm happy with Carmella taking a break. Whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
She's a good heel, but she's not a good in-ring performer, so not really necessary in the grand scheme of things, especially when they've got, other heels that can do the same thing, like the Iconics and all that.
Oh my god, I don't even mention about them.
Well,
I cannot stand
I can't
the
either,
Iconics.
but that's their job, right? They're to make you hate them.
Yo.
And they're way too loud.
Oh, that's their job, to make you hate them by being too loud and annoying. And
they do have them.
Someone just said
might be an annoying way.
Nilsson I just said about 2 Australian girls.
Huh? What, man?
Yo, he can't stand them. Well, they are Australian, but well, I should be going for them, but.
Well, they shouldn't be screaming.
I thought they were your girls, Ben. What happened of them being your girls? I thought they were your girls, man.
Dude, they are Australian. Oh my god, dude.
What happened to they are
Australian? They're a little bit hot and heavy over here. Oh, they're Australian.
So you mean they don't exist either?
Well, that's not my fault. They freaking scream on the microphone half of the time they talk.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, what, Ben? What?
Well, I actually, I was about to say just something about Mrs. Baby, but it doesn't exist anymore.
That's
dark. Actually, that's a spoiler.
Anyways, go on.
The next part was the tag team #1 contenders tournament, first round. New Day versus Sanity. This to me was the
wrong winner.
This to me was the shit stain in SmackDown's undies. This was the bad. This is the bad.
I have to
Why did
agree.
Sanity lose?
The
I do not
Sanity
want
should
to.
not lose at this point. They've ruined Sanity in my eyes already, and Nikki Cross hadn't even got there. She was there for the announcement at the women's thing. Why can't she be on SmackDown yet? But
Why does...
Yeah, true.
I don't want to see Usos versus New Day again. It was fun rivalry, but dragging it on to this point is getting old. Why didn't Sanity win? There's no reason. There's nothing to, like, clarify why they lost. I was so pissed when they lost. It was the perfect moment. Sanity versus Bludgeon Brothers. Extreme Rules. Because these two teams are, like, I guess you could say, scary? Hardcore?
yeah, that should have been the match for sure.
I don't know why New Day. There's no reason. New Day are about to slowly become booed and hated.
Mm.
And the reason is because they're just not stopping whatever they're doing with them.
I'll tell you
least I got
why
running guy.
Nikki Cross was at Raw. She is making her way to SmackDown. Apparently she's already in SmackDown. She's been doing live house shows for the SmackDown brand. So she is basically in SmackDown brand at
Is
this
she doing
point.
Insanity though? Is she
But
Insanity?
she's not in the shows yet. She's not in the live television shows yet. And I agree with the whole thing of they kind of disappointed us with the Sanity thing, and I'm not sure what they're gonna do now because the bar is back. Apparently, the bar is back.
Oh yeah,
And,
definitely.
It's been so long since we've seen them.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that why they've been
Because they
gone.
couldn't
I
think of anything for them.
No. I think it
No,
was
for the bar.
I think it
That's
was
why they go.
No, I think Cesaro had an injury. One of them had an injury or something.
Sheamus
They had
has the same
Sheamus-
thing
yeah,
that
Sheamus
Edge
had
has.
it.
But I also heard the other reason, even if another one injured, is because they had no plans for them. Or they have no
So
current
yeah,
plans for
because
them.
you can't really have a plan for Cesaro because the bar is the bar. They're a tag team. You can't really have Cesaro go solo.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
you
if they
can.
really
They do
wanted
it all
I
the
gotta
time.
be honest with you. The bar's
Yeah,
gotta be
they
one of the best.
They can, but they don't want to.
I'll admit
Yeah.
it, the bar's gotta be one of the best tag teams just to randomly
They
come to
are
a thing
they're
in
one
a
of the
long
best
time.
tag teams, and I really like the
Well,
bar.
they were actually put together by Mick Foley, so that's true.
Like
Yeah,
they
that's
had
true,
they
Ben.
had like impromptu tag, I guess you could say, and it succeeded.
Yeah, let's just say I may have just saw a person wearing a Broncos t-shirt, and I was always making a compliment on that. It's like, no, Broncos
I have
is
a
so
theory
relevant
out
now.
here. I have a theory
Yes.
out here.
Go ahead.
I don't think New Day is going to beat
Win
the
the title?
Bludgeon Brothers. Yeah.
If they do, that's stupid.
I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna keep the Bludgeon Brothers. Well, keep the titles on Bludgeon Brothers
Make it seem
for a
prestige.
match with the Bar, and have the Bar take the titles, and then from there they'll have Sanity come in and take the titles from the Bar, and that's the only way I really see this going. Mostly for Sanity per se, to have to see them with the titles, and it works out for all of it because technically, do we really want to see the New Day hold the titles once more?
No,
I mean,
that's just now.
I don't want to see
they're
that.
already 4 times champion, right? They're already 4 times champion.
And they
Oh,
are
no.
already the longest reigning.
Well, do
tag
we
team
ever want to?
champions.
Do we really want to see Usos be champion again?
No.
Yeah.
See, I knew you were
Kinda.
gonna say. I knew you were gonna say that just because you guys hate on New Day. New Day deserves everything that Usos deserve. There's no doubt about that. It's just that it's so
well,
recent.
the Usos
And,
hasn't held the titles as long as the New Day.
But I see
Yeah,
what you
remember
mean.
times.
The
they
Usos,
have-
I love the
And
Usos
they
and New Day.
they never
but
main evented or been, a big, huge deal.
I mean, I get
Well,
what you
it has
mean,
one.
Sheep. I have no right to like Usos, even though Usos have been holding those titles a lot
Yes.
too. I believe someone like
Just
Sanity and the Bar needs to hold those titles. Someone like new and fresh. That's probably why the Blood
I
Brothers
do
are still
agree with that,
champions.
but You know,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily say that New Day or the Usos are more or less entitled to hold the titles than anybody else. They're
I
both
mean,
No,
legitimate.
but they do need fresh people.
Well, I
They need
agree,
fresh people.
but you can legitimately see either team in the top spot, and
doesn't mean
nobody
the match
can
will be
really say,
bad
"Well,
because
I can't see them. They don't deserve to be champions." Nobody's gonna say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I won't be mad if like one of them win the tournament because Usos and New Day last year put up one of the greatest matches on that SummerSlam pay-per-view.
Yeah.
True.
So if
And
they're
I
like
think
great
that's the only.
performers.
I think that's the only big pay-per-view or big match the Usos ever had, honestly, on a pay-per-view.
The only time they got a WrestleMania match, they got squashed under 5 minutes.
Yeah. See. They need the day one-ish to lock down the division again.
More like say 0.5-ish. What the frick?
So what's the next thing here?
The next thing
Oh,
was
yeah.
Miz and Mrs.
Premiere
thing
party.
from being
Yep.
party.
It's adding to the Dana Bryan.
Premiere
and
party.
Okay, and also
Continue on it.
Bleach
What you
Report
guys
actually
think of
gave
this? The fake baby
well, Bleach
angle.
Report gave this a C.
I gave it a 9.
So you give it a B plus, is what you're saying?
I guess so.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna give this like an A minus because this is actually one of the few I've wanted to see for a very long time. The Miz versus Daniel Bryan again, but like this time, like
I mean,
Wow, okay, Mindu.
here's the thing here. This whole thing was mostly half and half. And I say, of course it's half and half because it's more to promote the show and to promote the feud
rivalry.
with Daniel
We'll
Bryan.
continue on
with
it.
the rival. Yeah. And it
'Cause
worked well in my
continue off 2 years
opinion. The
ago.
whole fake baby thing. I mean, it was kind of corny in a way, but
That's
I understand
that's why I
it.
take away points.
I gotta be honest
give
with
it
you, I
like a
didn't
B.
actually see that
I give it like
coming.
a B because I could tell from the moment they walked out. Here's the main reason why. You don't take a newborn out in front of a live audience of in the,
Yeah.
like thousands because
Yeah.
it'll damage their hearing. You have to have like big headphones on them, and a newborn baby's head can't support headphones like that. So there's no way in
Yeah.
hell they bring a newborn baby out to the middle of the ring. I was like, nope, it's bullshit. I'm calling it. I call bullshit. So from the
Yeah.
very beginning,
Yeah.
I was taken out of the element. I was taken out of the story because I knew fake baby right off the
Yeah.
bat because
I think they could
it
have
was
done
unrealistic.
without the fake baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could
But
have
him
used Maurice or
saying-
something like that. And the thing is that Daniel Bryan and The Miz are capable of so much more.
Mhm.
And
You
also, my friend has mentioned one thing. Doesn't he take notice that almost every heel, every Raw and SmackDown, doesn't matter what show, one of the heels in that show, my friend Brandon Mine's Army, I don't think you guys know him, but he has mentioned one thing, is that heel would make fun of the city. Like on Raw, Elias said something about where the city was, saying I will never sing in the city. On SmackDown, Miz says something that he will never bring his baby to this city. Like, every heel does that, says something about the city. Like, it's such a generic heel thing now.
Yeah, it's a generic heel thing, and they'll keep on using it.
Well, then unsubscribe, Mondu, because I ain't winning.
yeah, well,
He said if I don't win, he's gonna
we
unsubscribe from me.
actually don't. Well,
You must be one of those
Okay,
people who
I
has
actually
no town or city loyalty. You don't care about the place you live in, do you?
Well, Linda, I guess you gotta
I will
subscribe.
say this right now. Yeah, we don't actually like, win the match. Yeah, it's just about like having fun, like, and just talk about like what happened on Raw, SmackDown, even freaking NXT, which I was almost near close to not watching.
Yeah, we should. The premiere party is not anything really worth talking about. We should move straight on to NXT. NXT was like, all in all, if you just count, if they had just had the main event on, I would give it an A plus. But because they had the squash matches and all that, I give it like an A minus because the squash matches actually brought it down a few pegs. The first match was Sean Maluda versus Adam Cole.
Oh my
which
god.
wasn't a bad match. Maluda has definitely opened some eyes in the past
Jesus.
6 months or so. What? Oh, the
Oh,
game.
because me and Ben are doing this roulette right
I
now with roll
gotcha.
clubs.
So, Adam Cole and Sean Maluda, obviously we knew what was going to happen from the very beginning. Maluda went ahead and got that victory, and Ricochet comes out and basically challenges for the North American title. And for a while, Adam Cole is like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. But then he calls him a coward, and somehow that's enough to make him change his mind. And I was like, well, you know, it is what it is, but I do want to see Ricochet versus Adam Cole for the title. And I think all it's building towards.
I would like to see that.
I think it's building towards an Undisputed Era main roster appearance, because for it to happen, you got to drop the title.
I mean,
so
yeah, I could see that happening, to have the Undisputed Era in the main roster. I mean, they kind of do deserve to be on the main roster at this point, especially Adam Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, but the next match was Lacey Evans versus a newcomer, Tanilla Price. I don't like Lacey Evans. I really don't. As a heel or face, whatever they're trying to make her be, I don't like Lacey Evans. I don't like her move. The women's right. Like, you're not that powerful. You don't look like, you're not like Beth Phoenix or China. You're not fucking stacked. You don't look like you could knock somebody out with a punch. So whatever, it was what it was. That's why I actually brought the show down, because of these two matches. But
she's not stacked or anything, but she does have some good build to her.
Well, yeah, she was a Marine. I understand, but she's not fucking. She doesn't look like she can knock somebody out with a right. It doesn't look like that should be a legitimate finishing move for her. You know, Nia Jax doesn't use a knockout punch. If anybody should use a knockout punch, it should be like Nia Jax or somebody like that.
Yeah, Nia Jax.
Yeah, but she actually does use like her full force. So
Ben, don't
not my fault.
Anyway, the reason that the NXT was so good was the main event.
Was the last match.
That's right.
I watched this.
Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa. This was probably the best match. If anybody should be giving out 5-star matches, this should definitely be one of them.
I watched this, and I only watched NXT for just this match too, because I actually wanted to see who would win here.
The crowd was literally full of Miz girls at the end of this.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, the whole crowd was just in disbelief, shocked, like sad. It was amazing. I love Aleister Black. I think Aleister Black is definitely deserving of the championship that he holds. And I also really appreciate Tommaso Ciampa lately, especially with the reinvigoration as a heel. He's pretty amazing.
Yeah. Can we actually also just say something? This is actually what I was about to say. The reason why I didn't actually want to watch NXT today was because it was literally spoiled by that match. Because okay, we already know who everybody won, because they did throw out the thing on WWE.com saying who was going to win the match.
Yeah.
Which.
But still, it was a good match.
I think I just feel like this NXT has now become like more predictable in who's gonna win.
No, that wasn't predictable. It's your fault because you got that spoiled.
It's not even for spoilers. It's just that sometimes I know when someone's gonna lose the NXT championship.
Yeah.
It's gonna come that way. But it's not a bad thing because it's well deserved and earned. It feels
Needless
so good.
to say, though, the match itself was pretty intense, and I really liked it. And I think it was better than Raw and SmackDown combined. Just that one match, and it's really putting it out there. But that's my honest damn opinion right there. But so okay, I was talking about this earlier with when we weren't doing the podcast. I was talking about earlier in the chat. I was saying, so Tommaso Ciampa won, right? Does this mean we're gonna see a continuing Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa fucking rivalry? Because it was supposed to be the last match between them in the last pay-per-view. It was supposed to be done and over with. And
yeah.
I mean, we had Johnny Gargano go out there and try to stop Ciampa from winning because of the whole thing, you know, the whole feud and how Johnny wanted to be champion, didn't want him, and blah blah blah. And so is this where we're gonna get another match or a continuing feud? Like, this feud's been going on forever, man. I'm not saying I don't like this feud. It's a really good feud, honestly, but it's just people can take so much of the same feud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was my one disagreement with the match, was the Gargano angle. I think if it would have been a clean win from Tommaso Ciampa, oh my god.
Yeah.
But it was still, I expected that because I remembered the whole angle where Johnny Gargano was like, he can't be champion, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna fuck it all up. I called it, like, I think in last week's podcast or whatever. Well, no, not in last week's because I had to leave, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, great NXT, great week in wrestling. We got any rumors, news, anything
yeah,
good?
I kind of already threw one of the rumors out the front door about the whole Shinsuke, the club, and AJ Styles.
Yeah,
The whole New Japan thing. Yeah, I already said about
that.
So, yep. Do you want to look up some brand new news? I'm just gonna look up some news on my few, see if there's any.
Well, we do have. There wasn't much, honestly, going on. But, yeah. I mean, other than what I already said with the whole thing about push of Almas, how McMahon wants to push Almas after AJ Styles. Well, to replace basically AJ Styles. I mean, I already put out that, and that's already out there. I mean, do we really also... This is another thing I don't really want to talk about, because it's not really anything big, but Nikki Bella wants to move out of John Cena's house. Okay. I mean, it's not really anything major to talk about. Who cares?
WWE's apparently looking into signing Juice Robinson and Matt Riddle.
Okay.
Who are those?
The thing about Juice Robinson, aka he was CJ Parker.
Juice Robinson was CJ Parker in NXT,
yeah, CJ Parker.
CJ Parker. Okay.
One thing, if they actually do sign Juice Robinson, I swear the first thing they're gonna do is turn him back into a jobber. That's like the thing I could see them actually doing, turning back into that awful jobber. But I'm just like, no. He's better where he is at the moment. He's better where he is.
Well, now that he's got the momentum, I think he could do better. Now that people know who he is.
Oh, okay. Can we talk about the Tamatonga Roman Reigns thing?
Oh, what is
Apparently, Tamatonga actually made a little bit of fun of Roman Reigns. I think it was on Twitter. I don't know if it was.
Tamatonga was on the Bullet Club and Ring of Honor and
yeah, something about there is a Roman Reigns feud going on.
Like internet feud.
That could be going on.
I think it's all pointless because it serves no purpose unless Tamatonga is gonna sign a contract deal. Unless the whole Bullet Club is gonna sign a contract deal with WWE, which is, you know, I can see it, but I didn't see anything about Mr. McMahon offering the whole Bullet Club a contract deal. I seen the thing about the Young Bucks and whatnot. It's just Kenny Omega. Young Bucks and Kenny Omega is basically the only confirmed big contract deal that Mr. McMahon wants to do with the supposed Bullet Club.
Yeah.
But it'll just ruin their image, honestly. I think they should stay where they're at. They put in a lot of work in that indie promotion, and I don't think they should just basically, quote-unquote, sell out to the WWE, because I know a lot of WWE fans would want to see it, that follow, you know, the Bullet Club and whatnot. I understand it, but it'll just be destroyed, and it'll give them a bad image, because like I was talking about on the last podcast, how we got into that little thing about you know, we had these new superstars that put in work in indie promotions and come up in WWE and basically put in a lot of work into WWE to get where they're at, which is AJ Styles and people like that, AJ Styles. But looking at it from like Bullet Club, they put a lot of work in indie promotions, and I said it in last podcast. New Japan Pro Wrestling was irrelevant until the Bullet Club showed up in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that's when a lot of people started watching New Japan Pro Wrestling, because the Bullet Club basically made that promotion what it is now. They're the big names, they're the big stars in that promotion. So I don't want to see them to come to a promotion like WWE and have their, you know, whole respected image ruined by WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Sheep, can you let me know if that link is working?
Nope.
It's not working.
Damn it!
I'm not even gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you wonder.
Oh, it's not freaking working, because I just found some stupid article. Would Nikki Bella date other WWE superstars? What?
That's just stupid shit, man. It's nothing important.
Oh, did you guys see that article the other day? Would Nikki Bella date Australians? And she was like, no, they're not even real. Who would do that?
They didn't even do that, Sheep.
Yeah,
I know.
they did.
I
didn't see it. It was in the Australia Weekly.
I didn't see the article.
It was in the Australian Times.
Here's one. Here is actually something that you guys actually may not know. Cedric Alexander taking shots at former cruiserweight champion.
Shots of
at
gin?
Neville. Yo.
He's taking shots at Neville?
Yeah. Cedric Alexander taking shots at Neville.
Neville's still on a frozen contract with WWE.
Yeah.
He can't go nowhere because WWE is holding Neville hostage at this point.
Yeah. But he was like freaking throwing shots at Neville for being a quitter.
He's not a quitter. He hasn't quit yet. His contract is frozen.
I know, but can I say
and
something?
there's nothing he can do because he doesn't want to be in the WWE.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of quitting.
He is kind of quitting, but he doesn't want to be in WWE. I understand if he wants to go to a different promotion. I mean, shit, Austin Aries is doing
here's
good
the
for
thing.
himself.
Here's the thing.
Yo,
you sign a contract. Once you sign that contract, it's over. You have to. It's.
I know it's a contract. I understand it's a fucking contract. Once you do a contract, you have to put in your work. I understand it. But you know, he's not. He's almost in a similar situation that CM Punk was basically in. Almost. I wouldn't say it's on par, but it's almost in that category of situation.
Triple H is impressed by
somebody has
Rousey
a stream up in the background and I can hear it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, me too.
I like way too
say something? Apparently Triple H is impressed by Rousey wrestling.
Really? Is he really impressed?
Yep.
I don't think anybody's impressed.
Yo, look on Bleacher Report. And they'll probably say it.
I did see something. I seen an article on Bleacher Report the other day about not the other, it was a couple of days about Scott Hall supposedly teasing an NWO reunion. I guess he posted something on, well, Hulk Hogan posted something on Twitter, a photo with NWO with like a hashtag Flashback Friday with my brothers for life, and Scott Hall replied, we should all get together soon, hashtag dare ya, or something like that. So we could probably see a reunion. I mean, Scott Hall's still basically in the WWE. I mean, he shows up time to time.
Yeah.
And Hogan is, you know, he got his contract. Well, not contract, but
that goes back to that argument. We've got 20 superstars on each show who aren't getting screen time. Do we really give it to old farts who can't even wrestle anymore?
Yes.
I mean, it's not really gonna be a major thing. It's probably gonna be a one-time thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Nostalgia sells. But I'm really getting tired of seeing like 50-year-old guys get in the ring and pretty much hurt themselves to try and prove they can still go. Like they already put in the work. I don't need to see Undertaker fight in the ring. I'm good. He earned his retirement. He should have retired on a better note, but he earned that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have to get out there and try to prove himself anymore. For anybody.
Actually,
unless he really wants to. If it's his idea, that's fine. But I have an idea. I've got a good feeling that it's usually never his idea. WWE's like, hey, we really need you to, you know, tape it up.
In my honest opinion,
why did I try doing the Triple H impression? I'm not doing that again.
Yes, Nilsson?
in my honest opinion, after hearing about Triple H versus Undertaker happening at Greatest Supershow, I believe legends like Undertaker and Triple H are now just being used for like amusement park attractions. Legends are just being used so they can get their shows more watched. I mean, so disrespecting these legends.
Triple H has just made like $2-3 million off selling stock.
Mainly,
from WWE.
Undertaker's is being used just for like an amusement park attraction, just disrespecting the legend of the man. And that's my opinion.
There's an article that I read the other day as well about. I didn't read the article. I just read the headline. Didn't really want to go into it because it's kind of obvious. The Rock could return at WrestleMania next year.
I'm not a problem with that.
I could see it happening because he's The Rock. He could show up whenever he fucking wants to, and I mean, I have no problem with it. It's just, I just hate how he's. I don't want to be an asshole or anything. I'm just like, the only reason he's showing up is for money. We gotta admit it here. The only reason why he's showing up is for money. We can't say he's still showing up.
He's the highest paid actor in Hollywood. They're not gonna pay him more than he's gonna make for a blockbuster movie.
I know that.
I mean, when he came back in 2011, he says he's never leaving.
If
he
he's
left
actually
them again.
showing up for fans, he would stay longer than just for one fucking match or one fucking time.
He can't because look, he's in demand for. He can't.
I know he
his
can't.
hands are
then
tied.
Just don't show up at all. Then just don't show up at all. You're a fucking actor. Stay as an actor. Nobody fucking cares then. If you're gonna show up at one time,
they do
deal.
care. He wants to balance it. He wants to be there for. But other people do. I care.
It's like,
I want to see The Rock. If The Rock can make time in his schedule to, if The Rock can make time in his schedule to be on, he's not my favorite wrestler, but I respect him.
I don't want to just see a one fucking match. I want to see something good, like a worked out storyline if he's gonna show back. I want to see him in action. I know he can't do it because of his old, you know, he's a freaking actor and shit, but this is basically what John Cena is right now. John Cena is going to be just like The Rock, and he's not going to be paid as much as The Rock. He's not really a big superstar.
Listen, the difference here
The Rock's multi-hyper wrestler. I want to see him come back. I believe this is the best shape he's ever been in.
The difference with The Rock and why he can't do anything like John Cena does with like a more flexible
'Cause he
schedule,
ain't John
multiple
Cena.
events, is because he's in line. He's tied down to franchises now. He's tied
I
down
know he's
to
tied down.
the
He's tied
Fast and
down
the
in
Furious and all that stuff,
a
and so
lot of
he
movies. Yeah, I
can't
know
be in
that.
the ring because of insurance reasons. Because if he gets hurt in the
Then
ring, he
just
can't
don't
act in the
show it
movies.
up at all. That's the thing. I don't.
You can't just do
'Cause he's
that.
The Rock. Everyone needs
Not
him.
when you're the Rock. Everybody needs the Rock. He's got a point. He can't just not show up because he's the Rock. And
Yeah, but who?
he
And he
probably
can do
gets,
whatever he wants to.
look, the guy probably gets 100 million DMs a day about when are you going to come back to WWE, when are you going to have
Yeah,
a
of
match, when are
course,
you going to
of
do this.
course,
There's a
of
billion fans out
course,
there that beg him
of
every
course.
day for
But
one more match, one more match, one more match.
yeah, that's
Not a
just the
series
He's
of
same thing
getting that
matches,
with.
not a
wish.
big thing. They just want one more
It's the
match.
same thing with Undertaker. It's the same thing with
Yeah.
Undertaker. But the Undertaker's not in movies, and he's not doing that. But he's just not in good shape.
He's more like a
Exactly.
private guy.
Similar. It's
The
similar
Rock,
in a way.
but
It's
it's not
similar in
because
a
The Rock
way.
could still do it. The Rock could still go.
Yeah,
It's the insurance
exactly.
that's
But he
holding The Rock
can't.
back.
But he can't, like you said. But he can't do
But you're acting like just stay
multiple
away.
matches.
A sliver. If he
I
can
know
come in
that.
and
Because
make a
think about
promo.
it.
Come on, man. But come on,
He
man.
needs more,
Everybody
like-
knows what The Rock is.
But he
Everybody
needs-
loves The Rock. Everybody knows who The Rock is.
If
You
all
know
he
how
has time to
can
do is come
perform
out
in
to the ring, wave, and raise his
He's a
eyebrow
big-
and walk back out, I'm good.
He's,
Thank you, Rock.
he's a big superstar. He's a big fucking, he's in movies now. He's a big actor. Just stay where you are, man.
But The Rock deserves
I mean,
a better
he's
last
already
match.
made a name for himself, both in the ring and outside the ring. Everybody knows who he is. Everybody, like,
You're so
loves
mad
him
about
and-
this. Why are you so heated
I
about The
am,
Rock?
'cause
I want The Rock. I want The
I'm not
Rock to have
saying
a
I
better
don't.
last
I'm
match.
not saying I don't like The Rock or anything. I'm just saying you're already making a big name for. You already made a big name for yourself in the movie and TV industry. Just fucking stay there.
But
There's
he's
no
not.
fucking point to come back.
I highly
I mean,
doubt he's doing it for money.
I want The Rock to
I
come
mean, he's
back
going to get
because
paid,
he's-
and he'll get paid well, but I don't think he's doing it for money. I think he really cares about his fans, and he really wants to do whatever he can to make something happen, just to please, maybe even
Something happened.
maybe just to make the people slow down just a little bit on the letters and the DMs
I think
and the
hosting
tweets and the
WrestleMania
begging
was the
him.
best thing he done. Hosting WrestleMania was the best thing he done, and I think that's where it should have stopped. After hosting WrestleMania, it should have been done for him in WWE. He should just stay in movie industry and stay on that role and just keep working on what he's
You
doing.
realize
good
he's
at
never
that.
gonna. You realize he's never gonna do that. He's always gonna be tied to WWE in some aspect, and he's always gonna come back, just like the Undertaker.
I know, just like the Undertaker. I know, I understand that. I just really want a good, feud or match or storyline with him. And it's the same thing with the Undertaker. I mean, I have my same reasons
I'll be
and
back.
whatnot. It's similar to the Undertaker thing. If you're looking at it that way, it's the same thing that I'm fighting here for. And we're not gonna get the thing with the Undertaker, and we're not gonna get the thing with the Rock. We're not gonna get no storyline. We're not gonna get no good feuds with them. It's not gonna happen. They're only gonna show up for one time and tease us with it, and then just leave us to wanting more next year to show up once, and then again and again and again and again. I mean, we can all sit here and admit that we want to see The Rock back, and we all would appreciate one match with him, but we really just gonna want him more anyways. I mean, we do it every year. You can't say you're not gonna miss. You want to see The Rock, you want to see Undertaker, but to do one more match, because you're gonna, once he does that one more match, next year you're gonna be like, oh, I want to see Undertaker again, just for one more match. And then he does that one more match. He comes back next year, and you keep saying that to yourself. You know you do, because you really want to see a good storyline with him. You really want to see some good, made up feud or something that will last and we'll be happy with. Because apparently no one's happy if they just show up once, because then the next year they're just begging for it again.
You had your microphone mess up again for a second. I think it must be like a cell phone signal or something.
It must be.
That or it's the
Probably.
aliens in your basement.
Or probably like
Probably.
the internet. Cutting out all the time.
They're getting hacked.
Well, probably.
So yeah, I think that's pretty much all the major news and stuff like that. Probably a good time to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nilsson. We appreciate you coming to the podcast, stepping in for Soulamazin. We didn't even talk about Soul or Brock Lesnar here. Amazing. That's just crazy. Great podcast, guys. Thanks for stopping in, Nilsson. Hope you'll come back sometime when we need another guest. Any closing remarks, guys? Anything else you guys want to add? Yeah, get better, Soul. I think he's sick in bed. So, sorry about that. He's so sick he didn't even come to the chat. Nope. Nope. Uh-oh. Ooh. Got drunk. Smirnoff. He was drinking them Smirnoff ices or them Zimas. He's over there drinking that Boone's Farm. Oh, sorry. Can't hear them. But anyway, talk to you guys later. Thanks for stopping in. See you later. Best way to end the stream. Damn. Been the king.